What's going on, guys? Nick from Confident Video here, and this is our second time recording this video. We had some technical difficulties. However, I am here with my friend Marshall from Red Dawn Fury. We just got done with, well, not just got done actually. Now,
Even it wasn't then either because we had food and everything. So
we made a video on his channel, playing Go-Go Nippon, my trip to Japan, and we were talking a little bit about my trip on there, as well as having some fun with a visual novel and seeing the accuracy in that. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, make sure to check out that channel, and that will be in the description below, as well as the video will be in a click out at the end of this video.
You may be as surprised as we were about the game.
Yeah, so I recommend it. But right now we're going to be doing my podcast that I promised, where we talk about my trip to Japan, actually. And
Go Nippon, Nick's first trip to Japan.
He'll be asking me questions. It should be easy now because he got a couple already that we did in the video.
We kind of know. I might remember most of them.
So we'll be going over my trip, like what we did each day. Mm-hmm. And originally the plan was that I was gonna have pictures along with this, and with due to more technical difficulties, we were not able to do that. So I will be making a video at a later date, talking about that and showing pictures and all that, because I just wasn't able to do it due to difficulties at my house, not here. So.
Yeah, that's right. I already kind of forgot about that.
So unfortunately, because of that, we weren't able to do pictures, but no matter.
You may still get a picture or two of different sort,
but not like we're gonna be like going through pictures like, oh, this picture is this. We won't be able to do that.
Just mostly the itinerary here.
Yeah, and then any questions, and kind of like at the end we'll kind of talk about like my favorite things and maybe a little bit of tips. I don't know. I'm covering some of those in later videos.
Like one you already got?
Yeah, like one I already got, 5 tips on how to survive in Japan if you've never been there. It's a really long title, and I couldn't think of something how to shorten it up. So that's what it is.
You've got the 5 ways or 5 tips to survive. Usually those are good starts though. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
I will, if this video gets long, because it probably will. I don't know if I'm going to cut it up into multiple portions, or if I'm going to have timestamps below. It might just be one hour long video, and we'll have timestamps in the description below, so you will be able to jump to sections that you may want to hear about more, like certain days and what I did that day, or if you wanted me to you just want to skip all that and you want me to hear like my best moments in Japan, do that too. So I'm not going to be as in-depth this time because we already did this for an hour and it got corrupt, so we're getting right into it.
Oh yeah, clear your cache, kids. Also know where your cache is. That's always a good Thanks,
one.
Adobe.
So
and don't accidentally hide your profile, or have your friend accidentally hide your profile file so you can't open the control panel again.
My bad.
That's also the reason I couldn't open Chrome the last time, is because Chrome is on my SSD.
We literally made his entire computer a hidden folder, pretty much.
Anything that was on my SSD on my PC was hidden. So I can only access things that are on my hard drive, which is not most things. Or not the most important things that we needed.
Yeah. So without further ado, we'll get started in my itinerary. So my flight was from Milwaukee to Denver, and that was an 8 a.m. to noon flight. Noon being the Central Standard Time. Of course, when we landed, it was 11 because of Mountain Time.
You traveled back.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's like, what the fuck? It was only a 1 hour. It was like, it was. We got there at 10. It was a 3-hour flight, and I thought it was a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
Because of the time jump. So we got there at 11, 10 o'clock Mountain Time, and then we had a 2.5-hour layover, which actually isn't that long of a layover because it's a bitch to get out of the terminal, and not out of your plane. It takes a long time to get out of the plane, so. We realistically had about maybe an hour to eat, and then we had to start boarding our plane to Japan, which was, I believe, a 13-hour or so, maybe 12-hour flight.
So now that one was weird because you kind of went back in time from Denver to from Mountain Time to Pacific, but then you eventually went forward.
Yeah,
because of
Japan, because Japan is like here in the map, and we're here. I did that again. I did that in the last one too. So Japan, we're here, and Japan is here. So they're at the very end of the whole time jump. So we're technically moving backwards, but we're going forwards. Japan is 14 hours ahead. So so we arrived at 3 It says here we arrive at 3:20 p.m. We probably got there. I think we got there about 30 minutes ahead of schedule, so we got there at about 2 something p.m. Not anything too major.
Something I do think is interesting. I didn't bring this up the last one either. Is the numbers are super are very different.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the phone number is like digit dash 4 digits dash 4 another 4 digits
Yeah.
instead of us, which is like one is because it's America. Everyone is one. For the U.S. I should say, but then you have usually 3 digits, and then 4.
Yeah.
Which this is like a whole other mess.
Yeah, it's the number for the hotel we were staying
Well, I guess
at
it's probably because that's probably the plus
is the
81 is for country probably, so that's probably for Japan.
and then 3 is probably the area code.
Yeah, because the probably my guess is whoever the phone lords of the universe are or of Earth is,
Yeah.
whoever decides all this, they probably there's clearly a plus and then whatever number. So for US it's 1.
Yeah,
because I guess we made the phone.
We the best. I'll
Yeah.
explain this shirt later. Don't worry.
Yeah. So that and then I guess after that it's whatever the fuck you want to do for your phone system.
Yeah.
So they made it so that it's 1 starting digit and then 4 and 4, which is very strange to me.
Yeah. So we arrived at the airport in Narita at about 3:20-ish. We were in the airport for about 2-ish hours. It didn't take us as long to get through customs as people may thought. It's actually very simple. It's definitely not as annoying as TSA is. They're a little bit more lenient, but that's also because you have to go through TSA to get to Japan. You have to go through security to get there, so it's not as difficult.
Yeah,
when you arrive.
I imagine it would be different coming out of Japan then as well. A little bit.
A little bit. Not as bad.
Well, just because essentially they have to check for the items that especially you didn't have when you came into the country.
They actually really don't care. Really, I was surprised.
And I was gonna say, so then you didn't get like really checked that much from like anything when you came back into America, like
they check your bags, but
Okay.
like anything in your carry-on is they can screen for that, but they check your bags. So so they pretty much check everything, but it doesn't really it's not that big of a process because you put your thing under the scanner, obviously your carry-on, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Long day.
Yeah, you put your carry-on in the scanner and then all that. So you arrive at Narita. Customs is really like a breeze, but the money exchange took quite a while because we had 16 people exchanging money, so it takes a little bit.
It's not that's a lot of money and a lot, especially because you were telling me some people really wanted to exchange
like
a lot of money,
$800, and then obviously my professor and my other Japanese teacher, they were exchanging about like $5,000.
I imagine they were probably going to be exchanging a lot.
Actually, water. All right, so we're back. I had to get water, so a lot of talking today. So, so after the money exchange, we were on a bus for like 30 minutes, a 30-minute bus ride, so maybe 40 minutes, and then after that, we pretty much didn't really do anything. We got to the hotel at about like 6 o'clock ish, and then after that point we had dinner at 8. One thing you'll notice when you go to Japan, I didn't mention this the last time, is that it gets dark really fast. 7 p.m. sun was completely set.
Ooh.
And that is, I asked, I was like, so is it like switched where like, because for us it's
like in the winter the sun will go down at like 4.
Yeah.
But then in the summer it goes down. So like because it's summer, it's going down to like 9.
Yeah, except it doesn't do that. That's actually late. That's late for them.
Oh wow,
Their
really?
sun actually sets really early in the winter.
Wow. What, like a 3?
Something like that. And but the sun rises for them at like 4 a.m.
Yeah, I would imagine that it would push back a little bit earlier because it's not like they're in the north.
Yeah.
Where it's like weird, like really weird time. It's like we had our sun for the 5 minutes today. It was really nice.
Yeah. Not like that. So that was pretty much day 0. I consider that day 0. We really didn't do anything. We pretty much missed an entire day based on how traveling works.
Which sucks, but kind of expected.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do? So,
you're in the Nippon.
Yeah. So the next day we were in Ikebukuro. We were at the Sakura Hotel. I don't think I mentioned that yet. If you are going to be staying in that area, I really do highly recommend that hotel. There's really small rooms, but they're $50 a night. So
And I would imagine many things are small in Japan.
basically because of space, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to them that might be a big room. I don't know.
I mean, I guess if I had to guess, it's because it's $50 a night. Essentially, I'm guessing it is of average size.
Yeah. So the second day we did just toured around Ikebukuro most of the day. So the thing we did right away in the morning is we were walking around Ikebukuro because that's like our area of operations. That's the place we should know the most because in case if we ever get lost in that area, we know how to get back to the hotel. It's actually divided by east and west, split by the train station right down the middle. So you have to go to under the train station to get to the other half. It's kind of weird, but you know, what are you gonna do? So we went to Sunshine City that day, which is like this giant road, just of stores and stuff. A lot of anime stuff in Ikebukuro because it is one of the anime areas in Japan. The other one obviously being Akihabara. So
which we'll get to, I guess.
We'll get to that in a little bit. So we were walking around. We got to walk around the mall for a little bit in the morning, but nothing was open because everything opens at 10.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. They actually have like a really weird theme song they play when all the doors open at the exact same time. It's actually a little creepy.
I imagine. I'm like, because I'm like imagining this. Like, is it like a really cutesy kind of like J-pop thing? So like, like you're in a mall. Like, how many people were there even? Like, I imagine there's not a lot. So like, imagine you're almost in like this hallway where there's no one, and all of a sudden just gates are lifting.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like when in a horror movie when a doll,
or
like a child starts singing, it's like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
this is where I die.
Pretty much what it was like. So then after that, we went to the Life Safety Learning Center, as it was called, and we learned about earthquakes, even though most of us knew how earthquakes worked. And then we did the
but being in it is different, yeah.
Yeah, so then we did the earthquake simulation, and how that worked is that there's this platform kind of like off in the center of this area, and it moves you out, and then it simulates earthquakes based on magnitude. So mine was the 311 earthquake, which is the most devastating earthquake in Japan that killed somewhere around 20,000 people. That was the one in 2011 that people are still recovering from to this day. Yeah. They did that one first, which is weird to me. You think they'd save that one for last, and it was rough. We moved around a lot, and he's like,
because you were because you didn't have the knee pads. Someone jacked your knee pads.
Yeah, there's like they each gave us like a cushion to sit on because we're gonna be moving around a lot, and someone took 2 of them, so I was just my bare knees were on carpet, and it burned my knees a little bit, not a lot.
Could have been worse, given the probably the amount of traveling you did, well, even though you were holding a table.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because this is where you did your thing where you're like, the table was here and we were here.
Yeah, so the table was like here, and then we moved like all the way over here. It was like we moved a lot, so. That was interesting, to say the least. So after that, we had lunch, so this was the first time where we actually got to go off on our own without having our professor and our Japanese instructor with us, which was really it was a little kind of, I would say it was a little, like, not scary, but it was a little overwhelming.
Yeah, it's because you're kind of, like, nervous, because it's like...
You don't want to get lost.
Yeah, and you're in a foreign country,
mm-hmm.
You don't want to be, like, whisked away.
And the reason why we did this, or we were originally going to eat somewhere else, but they wanted us to get used to ordering food on our own because we are going to have several times where we're going to have to go get lunch on our own.
Mm-hmm.
And they figured,
why not... Push in the deep end mentality.
Yeah, and they figured, why not do it now when there's a lot of McDonald's and stuff nearby where food you can, like, how to pronounce and stuff like that, so...
Except you would have to, like, I would like a Big Mac.
Well, yeah, but... So we did that, and we got to explore a little bit after that. So we had lunch, and then we had about 2.5 hours to explore, and then after that we had the double-decker bus tour in Tokyo. So everything we stayed in was Tokyo, but like Tokyo, when I refer to Tokyo, is like the downtown metropolitan area. So we went around that area.
The one with all the screens pretty much just everywhere,
No, it's
No.
not Tokyo.
Is that not?
No, the downtown Tokyo metropolitan area is it's like a business district.
Oh, okay. So it's almost just like walking through any kind of normal city.
Yeah, exactly. Except they have like the palace in the distance. But.
Oh, okay. But then and then the double decker, like, cause that one wasn't just like, that's not like the one, like when you think double decker, it's not like the ones in England. It's like, it's kind of like the convertible double decker essentially.
So the double decker is only one story, and it's the second one that you can ride in.
Yeah. Well, because who would want to be on the first story?
For a bus tour, right?
Oh, look, I can see everything from just the window, and there's nothing around me.
Yeah. So we did that, and that was really interesting. We got to go around pretty much the Tokyo Bay area, which is a pretty large area. It was about an hour and a half bus tour, so got to see a lot of cool things. Had a headset on that was speaking to us in English. It cut out every 2 seconds, so that was cool. So we did that, and then after that point, we had dinner in an izakaya, which is like a Japanese pub, which was like the first time we actually got to eat like Japanese food in Japan, and we got to drink alcohol, and that was fun.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And I had tuna jaw, which is really good. I recommend eating tuna jaw, if you ever get the chance to, because it's really tender meat. It's pretty good. I thoroughly enjoy eating.
Because fish is very different there than it is here.
Yeah, it's cooked better. If you don't like the fishy taste, then you're not gonna have a problem in Japan. Because most fish, when you refer to like a fishy taste, you think of like fish oil.
Yeah.
Which is not how fish tastes, or it's supposed to taste when you cook it. So, if you're thinking of like fish fry and like bluegill and stuff like that, that tastes like fishy, but it's not supposed to taste like that. That means it's cooked incorrectly. All right. So, sorry. The Qdoba really got to me. So, that was pretty much day one. It's considered day 3 here because we spent the first day traveling and the second day traveling. But I call it day 1. So then the second day we went to Asakusa, which is a traditional like Japanese area in like Tokyo, which you don't really see that much. There were a lot of traditional Japanese stores and stuff like that. We got to do our kimono trial that day. So we got to dress up in kimonos. They dressed us, not we got to dress ourselves.
Some of you were also in a yukata.
Yes. Because they had choices for yukatas, which the difference is kimonos are more meant for winter because they're more thick, and yukatas are meant for summer because they are more lightweight. So I obviously chose the yukata because I was thinking I didn't want to sweat.
Yeah, I don't want to like get heat
It was
stroke.
still was very hard to walk in because it was very tight around your legs.
That I'm not super surprised about, but at least you were cooler than the people who wore the kimono.
In both temperature and awesomeness.
All you kimono weebs. But yeah, that's because you were saying the last time we tried to record this how it's you can't really even put it together just on your own.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's a lot of wrapping that you have to do, and it's very intricate how you have to do it. There's a certain way to do it, and if you do it wrong, you look silly.
Which is why if you get a kimono or a yukata, you want to put it on, make sure not only you know how to put it on, but somebody else that would help you put it on knows how to put it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you don't want to be like, especially you want them to kind of know, because that has to be the world's like most frustrating like instructions to give to somebody who has never put on a yukata, and you need them to finish it off for you,
especially in the back, because you need to tie like a bow in the back if you're a girl.
Yeah, so put the tie like this, and put the tie like that, and put the like that. Yeah, the worst. Give them a pamphlet or something.
So what we did is we walked around in those for about 2 or 3 hours. We went to the Senshoji Shrine and the Asakusa Temple. The other way around. Senshoji's Temple and the Asakusa Shrine. Sorry if I'm slurring my words. It's been a long, long day. Yeah. So we did that, and then we went to lunch in the kimonos and yukatas, and then we changed out of them. So for the rest of the day, we were not in them, which was nice because they were getting a little uncomfortable. And The Japanese people generally liked us being in them. They thought it was really cool that we're trying to immerse ourselves in their culture and trying to experience what their culture is like. It's not necessarily seen as a bad thing to them. They actually really enjoy it when you try to learn their language and you try to learn their cultural customs and stuff like that.
So we get on your high horses.
Yeah. No cultural appropriation comments, please.
And then, there is a difference. I actually didn't know this until I started taking an Asian philosophy class last semester. That there's a difference between a shrine and a temple.
Yep. I don't recall the differences on the top of my head, and I don't want to get them wrong.
No,
but there are differences to each of them, and there are different ways to pray to each of them too.
Yeah, I think that's what's the major difference is how they pray.
Yeah. Each have different purposes, and there's different ways to tell the difference between a shrine and a temple. Both of which I don't know the difference, but the one major difference is the way you pray,
which you got to learn about and do.
Yep, we learned both the ways. I'm
guessing you don't really remember them.
I think at a shrine, it's 2-2-1, so you bow twice, you clap your hands twice, you pray, and then you bow one more time after you're done. So it's like 2, and then 2, and then once you're done praying, you bow again and you leave. I'm pretty sure that's the way. If it is, I'm sorry. It
was a little bit ago.
Yeah. So that's what we did.
And you were just a one-timer.
Yeah, we did it. We only did that once. We went to other shrines, but we didn't pray because we were kind of in a rush those days. We kind of were just like, all right, here's the shrine. All right, cool.
Yeah, you didn't like go into it really. You just kind of like saw it and you're just like, there.
I think we went to more temples and shrines too, there's definitely a lot more to the temples than the shrines. So after lunch, we changed out of our kimonos and then we went to the oldest theme park in Japan, which is the Hanayashiki. It's a cute little amusement park. It doesn't really have that many thrilling rides.
Think Amagi Brilliant Park.
Amagi has some pretty intense rides, though.
It does.
This does not.
However, it's not really for the right reasons. So this one at least would be for good reasons.
Yeah. So we did that for a couple hours, and then after that we did the Tokyo Yakuruto Swallows baseball game at the Jingu Stadium against the Oryx Buffaloes, and that was really cool. Japan better step up their fucking game when it comes to baseball.
America?
Yeah. America better step up its game when it comes to baseball because Japan has like got that shit on lockdown. Like that was so much fun. They got chants for like every single player. They have cheerleaders. They have cool dances they do at the 7th inning stretch. They have a guy there literally just meant to pump up the crowd and start chants.
Who wouldn't want that job?
And they have a pep band. So like imagine like a high school basketball game. Almost,
yeah, essentially
but like in a baseball setting. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean we definitely we need to step up. Like I'm tired of this 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. It's old. That's old times.
Yeah, get with the times.
We need to advance. We need the dance routines. We need some like pop music.
So that ends day 4 because we actually didn't make it through the whole baseball game because it was the longest baseball game I've ever witnessed.
What inning did you get to?
7th.
Oh wow.
We got to the 7th inning stretch, but it was literally everybody was 3 balls, 2 strikes, and then they would foul like 4 times before hitting it.
That's awful.
And it was so I think there was like 200 pitches by the 7th inning stretch, and so we decided to leave because it was 9:00 at night by the time the 7th inning stretch happened. So we're like, we would not get out here till like midnight because the game started at like it's 18, so that started at 6. So it was 3 hours.
Ooh, and you only made it to the 7th inning. Oh my god! I bet like just wait though. Like you left and the game only lasted like another like 20 minutes because the rest of it was just strike.
Yeah. No, we were all tired. And then we had like a 20-minute train ride home. So that was that day.
Interesting.
And then the next day is the day.
Wait, I was gonna ask. What was like? Because I see you had the dinner at Jingu. So did you just have like the What was it like? Because I mean, obviously here in America, it's like get your hot dogs.
I had a KFC. They had a
Okay.
KFC in there, and I had a Japanese style chicken sandwich, which is just their chicken sandwich, but like with some Japanese.
I was just like, because you were telling me a lot of the like the carriers, like with the
Yeah.
drinks, were like cute girls, and they had like a backpack, and that's what filled
Yeah,
it.
they
Like
didn't-
they just had the cup.
Yeah, they actually didn't have many like people walking around with food. You had to go get it yourself. But they did have a lot of cute girls in different beer backpacks that had different types of beer on their backs. You had to, if you wanted to like get a certain type of beer, you had to make sure to wave them down. So,
All right.
so water break.
Okay. Still recording the audio. We're good.
Yep.
No, I've seen no issues with the video recording, so far we should be good.
Yep. So day 5 is the day probably everyone wants to hear about, but not gonna hear a lot about.
Yeah, you may be disappointed.
So day 5 is the day we went to Akihabara, which is actually how we pronounce it. It's Akihabara.
Well, if anything, it'd be Akihabara.
Bada,
Yeah.
because ra is like ra. But anyway, so we had breakfast obviously, and then we went to Akihabara for a little bit. We walked around the main street, and it's pretty much only one street. The what you're thinking of when it comes to Akihabara. Akihabara as like an area is a big area, but like the street that has all the anime stuff is just limited to that one street. There's obviously still a lot of stores.
And there are at least
over.
some of those signs and things that some people
Yeah,
do know.
there's a
'cause
lot of-
obviously there are pictures.
There are a lot of anime like billboards and stuff for like new anime coming out and stuff like that. But it's not like an entire city like a lot of people think it is.
Mhm.
I wasn't disappointed, but I was just surprised because pretty much anything that ever covers Akihabara, they have it be the impression that it's the entire city.
Yeah, because you always see, I mean, I guess maybe it just changes a lot, and that's why, like, if you see, like, photos and stuff, that's kind of maybe why it seems like, oh, like, so many different places, but maybe it's, like, the same place, but it's just, like, it changes so frequently
Yeah.
that, like, it doesn't seem like it's the same. That might be the case.
So, and then we walked around a little bit, and then we did Mario Kart, which this company called Akiba Kart does these Tokyo kart tours, and one of the options is that you get to dress in like their Mario costumes and you drive around Tokyo in these go-karts, and it's a lot of fun. I had a blast.
As Bowser.
I dressed up as Bowser. That was the day I had the most pictures taken of me in my like entire life. Like more pictures in my entire life combined was
Not that you kept, but from other people taking pictures
Yeah.
of you.
because like if you were at an intersection stopped, about hundreds upon hundreds of people at each intersection will take your picture.
was
So-
it kind of weird? Like, were you ever like at an intersection and there was like another car right there?
No, because we were
Or-
on the left side of the road. Remember, they drive
Well,
on the
okay,
left
so
side.
right here. But I just mean like right next to you. Like, were you ever parked like right next to a car? You're just like, hey, I can see you right into your rim there. Your brakes need to be checked.
No, not really, because I was
Okay.
on there's 2 rows and I was on the left side, so I was always next to the people on the street.
Okay.
Um,
Well, there's 2 sides to you though. But like,
But-
you kind of always just.
but
by...
there's a guy next to me. Like I was right next. So I
Okay.
was here. No, I was here, and
Then there was
the
another
guy
go-karter.
that was having us drive with him was here.
Oh, okay.
So there's 2 rows of us, and we would follow him.
As I say, I heard you said that. You mentioned that you almost got run into.
No, I got
by the-
rear-ended.
No, I meant like the car that pulled into the wrong section.
That was not me.
No, I mean, but like
One
somebody
of-
like.
somebody in my group
Oh.
started driving on the right side of the road
Oh,
instead of the left side.
oh boy, you Americans. But no, that sequence led to my favorite picture of you from that trip. That I want to make a meme.
I'll post it
Is
here.
right here, yeah. You and it's just your face, it's the pose, like it's that perfect pose. It's just that oh shit, what up kind of
Yeah.
pose, you know. It's perfect.
So-
Everything I needed.
So then immediately after that, we were all sweating because you're in a go-kart, and it was decently hot that day. It was like 84, 85 degrees with no clouds, no shade, and you're driving in a go-kart for like an hour.
Well, and then you not only have, it's not like you took everything off before you put the onesies on.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, that's over your clothes. So that's a lot of layers
Yeah.
in 80 degrees.
So after that, we went to cosplay karaoke, which is pretty much a karaoke bar, but you get to dress up in cosplay as well. I was the green-haired guy. I think his name is Midorima.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I didn't remember it the last time we recorded it. From Kuroko no Basket, and then I don't remember the main character's name. The red haired guy, the red haired.
Yeah, the main ace from the middle school.
The guy that cuts his hair. I don't remember his name, but my friend was him, and it was a lot of fun. One of my other friends was the Hokage from Naruto, and I thought that was hilarious because it was like a joke to all of us, like he's the one true Hokage, and he did like the pose like this.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Did he talk in like a grumbly voice?
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
I would love it if he went up and sang like some really good pop song, and it's just like. It's just like happy music is in the background.
Yeah. So we did that for a couple hours. That was a lot of fun. A lot of us were singing different songs. They had a lot of songs in English because English songs are really popular in Japan, and this place was pretty up to date with the current tunes.
I'd say you had a One OK Rock one though, didn't you?
I got a couple One OK Rocks in, but those are from, yeah. One OK Rock's a big deal in Japan, so.
Yeah. Well, and those are from the original album.
They're older albums, yeah.
Oh, the older one, but just even an older album, like not from 35.
Yeah, no, it was from their album with the white cover. I don't remember the name.
Niche Syndrome.
Yeah, Niche Syndrome.
Yeah.
I was from that one. That was because that's like my favorite song from that album. So.
Which one?
Wherever You Are.
Oh, that's a really good one. I love that one.
So. And that song I know most of the Japanese for, so.
Yeah, well, a lot of that song's in English too.
Yeah.
So that really helps.
There's a section where it's like only Japanese and it's a really long part, but I know most of that part.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then we had about like 3 hours of free time in Akihabara to do whatever. And me and my friend spent about an hour and a half of that shopping. I got Marshall this gift, the Hanayo figure.
Yes. Probably doesn't look super great in the way the lighting is set up. But, yeah. I loved it. Well, I do love it.
I did love it. Don't love it anymore. He throws it in the garbage as soon as I leave.
Yeah, I've had it for a couple hours now. It's trash.
So that's actually where most of my gifts for myself are from. That's
from me to me.
It was from Akihabara. It's pretty much only Love Live stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Or Lavu Laivu.
Lavu Laivu, as the Japanese say.
Mm-hmm. Which made more sense to them when you said it that way.
Yeah, actually, if you just say Love Live, they'll be like, "What the fuck?" If you say Lavu Laivu, because that's how their like vowels and their alphabet works. They will understand what you're saying. So, yeah, I'm not racist.
Yeah, it's all about your intent.
Yeah,
and your intent was just to get some dank idols.
Yeah. So we went to the Animate store, which is a 6th floor anime store. Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff. The first 3 floors are like DVDs, which you can't use because you need a PAL region.
Well, if it's I was gonna say if it's Blu-ray, isn't it the same region?
It might be,
but like because it's like I thought with Blu-ray, because that's how I got my Black Rock Shooter Blu-ray is because it was only available in Japan, but because in Blu-ray Japan and America are the same region.
It could very much well be, but I know just works. DVDs.
DVD you can.
They have the PAL when we have the I don't know what it's called NTSC.
Yeah, it's something. There's like codes for them too. Like I think those are like A, B, and C, and there's like 1, 2, and 3, whatever for DVDs. Like Blu-ray, it's like it's bullshit.
So that was the first hour and a half, and then the second hour and a half I actually went to Club Sega, which are arcade chains in Japan, which are really, really cool. I went to an arcade the first day in in Ikebukuro as well. It was Game Taito Station, which are the 2 main arcades you will see in Japan, are Game Taito Station and Club Sega's. So this Club Sega was 6 stories tall, which is really big. The first 3 were just UFO grabbers, which are a giant ripoff.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, so because you mentioned this the first time, it was like you just said UFO grabbers. I'm like, what does a UFO grabber mean?
So what a UFO grabber usually I gotta remember to do this. So there are these bars like this. Here I'll go so this is looking down on it, so there are bars like this that are holding a figure like this. And you have to move the figurine box like this so it falls through. You can do this a couple ways. You can grab it, you can move it, but like like the people that work there, if somebody leaves and it's like really close, they'll move it back. So you have to do it yourself.
Oh.
And it's really hard and it's a waste of money. I did it once and that was it. I was like, nope.
Oh my god, that sounds awful. And yeah, just like claw machines, a complete waste of money.
These are like worse because like these.
I imagine it sounds worse.
So that was the first 3 floors because I'm sure those make a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And then the last 3 floors were other stuff like gambling machine, like not gambling machines, but like gambling machines, not Pacinos, not Pacino parlors.
I was gonna say the machines that Konami is gonna, the games Konami will make instead of making video games.
Those are yeah. Pacino parlors are usually separate because it's a whole separate thing. But like there are like people like play like video poker and like there are people that like straight up play like almost RPGs on these things.
Oh. Wow.
But then I went to the rhythm game floor, which was where I wanted to spend most of my time.
That was the important floor.
So, that's where I spend my hour and a half, and then we had to come back down.
Played plenty of like I'm guessing some Sound Voltex and Jubeat. I'm guessing.
Yep, Sound Voltex, Jubeat were the 2 primary ones.
So you didn't play My though?
I didn't because I was too intimidated.
And you didn't have the gloves.
I didn't know where to find the gloves because like people like I see people like wearing the gloves and I assume that it's like a requirement
or at least very helpful.
Yeah, so I didn't want to not use the gloves. If you don't know what I'm talking about, what My is, just look it up. It's MAI because it's really hard to explain. It's like a wheel, and
touch the wheel.
You gotta hit the button.
There's a lot of rubbing on plastic, and if you've ever had to do anything like that, that's got to be. It's a lot of burn happening. And well, you said there was the Project Diva.
Yeah, Hatsune Miku Project Diva Arcade, which is like a fucking ripoff because it's 100 yen for 1 play.
Oh, that sucks.
So I only played that once, and that was actually later in the trip.
Oh wow.
But so after that, we went back to Ikebukuro, which is about a 15-minute train ride, which is not bad. So if you want to go to Akihabara, stay in Ikebukuro because it's not that far. And then we did the Rabbit, Cat, and Owl Cafe. We got to choose one. I chose the Rabbit Cafe because I'm allergic to cats, and owls just seem like the scariest thing to be to a cafe with. And
I want to go to that Owl Cafe so bad.
However, what I did learn is that rabbits and cats share the same kind of fur structure, so I actually did get allergic reaction.
Oh no! When you thought you were gonna be safe, you were actually betrayed.
And I was only told this by somebody on the trip after they knew I was allergic to cats and after I went to the cafe. They're like, oh, did you know that rabbits and cats have the same type of like fur? And I was like, oh, you could have told me that before I went.
Did you know?
Yeah, so...
Oh my god.
So it wasn't that bad because it was we were only there for like 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But I could still feel my throat closing up.
Yeah, getting a little tight there.
Is it still going?
Yeah, it's you can see it building there.
Okay, I just want to make sure because this is the same point in the video where the last time it
but we were 10 minutes more ahead, but in terms of this. But yeah, because I saw the Owl Cafe first on Solo Travel Blog, and that's the only time I knew it existed. I'm like, I have to go here because owls are my favorite animal.
Yeah.
So it's like I must see them. I want because I heard because the way he described it, it's like you get handed the glove.
Yep.
And then like you walk in, it's like here's your owl, and I'm like
they get perched on your shoulder too and stuff.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have to that's why I want it. I mean, and like the things that are like the scary thing, it is one of those things though. It's like. I think if the place has been open long enough, they're probably fine.
Yeah, no, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to just deal with owls, but
yeah. Well, and before knowing anything about the fur structure thing,
I don't blame the Owl Cafe.
I don't. Well, and because you didn't know, I don't blame you for picking rabbits too. Because who wouldn't want to be in a giant cafe filled with rabbits?
Yeah, it's
pretty they're soft and you know furry.
So then we were in Ikebukuro, so we had dinner there, and we went to a self-barbecue, and it was really, really good, except I was kind of dying inside because my throat was already a little closed.
No, yeah.
From, a little bit, not a lot, okay. People think, when my throat closes, I can't breathe, but, I can just feel
Yeah, no, I've gotten that, too.
So, the self-barbecue is supposed to, self-ventilate itself because each table has a ventilation thing, but it doesn't do a very good job. So, my eyes hurt really bad. It was really good food. It was fun to cook your own food.
So now by self barbecue, what do you mean? Like, so yeah, you just like you actually just cook yourself?
Yeah,
or?
you get the raw meat, you order the raw meat, and then you put it like on a grill. It's like,
Wow, it's kind of cool.
so you get to cook it yourself.
Very strange though, in a sense where it's like you go somewhere to eat, usually because you're like, I don't want to cook, but it's mostly this time it's just like I want to cook, but I don't want to work. I don't want to buy or like I don't want to go to a grocery store,
Yeah.
and I don't want to clean it up.
Yeah, pretty much. And a lot of actually apartments and flats in Japan don't have enough room to cook your own meals.
I imagine.
So this is a really good alternative if people like to cook their own meat. The meat doesn't take that long at all. The thing that took them longest was the steak, and that was like 7 minutes, like
That's
5
usually,
minutes.
Well, that's usually the case. Grilling in and of itself doesn't actually even take
Yeah.
that long, no matter what. But I mean, yeah, if you don't have the place to do that kind of cooking, I could see that being a really valuable option there.
And that was probably the best meat that I had on. Actually, the second best meal that I had.
Well,
So
meat or meal?
Meal.
Okay.
I did say meat at first, but I do mean meal. So we are done with day 5. And then day 6, Shibuya and Harajuku, where I bought this shirt.
Shibuya.
So it's actually pronounced Shibuya.
Yes, I am aware of that.
But Shibuya sounds so much
Shibuya
cooler.
sounds cooler.
It's like Shibuya.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I am aware it is Shibuya.
So we went to the Meiji Jingu Shrine in Shibuya, and that's actually where I met the band member from the band that I listened to.
Yeah, it was
Franz from Attila.
Yeah,
people are gonna hate me on this if they don't like Attila, but whatever. I got to meet the lead singer. How many people say you get to meet your fucking like a lead singer in Japan just casually?
Yeah, like that's one thing to be like, oh, I went to Los Angeles and I met or it's like I got
or you went to like Warp
actor.
Tour and I went to Warp Tour and I met my favorite artist. Like I literally we were leaving the shrine and he was entering and I was like, holy shit. Like I was freaking out. I was like, because I follow him on Snapchat and I saw he was in Harajuku the day that we were in Akihabara. I was like, damn. Okay, that's a dog.
That's a dog tail.
So I was like, damn, only if we were there the next day. And he was actually had a show in Harajuku that day that we were in Harajuku and Shibuya. So he went to the Meiji Jingu Shrine just that day because he likes to do stuff before the show. So then I got to meet him and it was really cool and I didn't know what to say because I was like, what the fuck is going? I was just like, hey,
literally to meet you, I have to go halfway across the planet.
I should have said that. I should have said, in order to see you, I have to fly 14 hours. No, but yeah, he was really cool. I got his picture. It was a really good picture, I think. And then one of the other people in my group was like, wait a minute, is that Franz? And I was like, yeah, because the one thing that gave it away was, well, first off, he's white. I was like, okay, and then he's tall. I was like, oh, okay, and he owns a clothing line called Stay Sick, and he was wearing a sweatshirt. I was like, okay, there's like no way in the world like that's not him. And I saw, and he was like vlogging or whatever, and
he pulled out his phone and started the Snapchat. Or?
Yeah, and after he was done, I went up to him. So that was really cool. Everybody was like, oh my god, like nobody knew who he was, but they thought it was cool.
Well, like, because that is crazy, like. Because clearly they could tell that it was someone of somewhat significance. Because then otherwise, why would you go to another white man and just be like, "Yo"?
You're right, exactly. So so we went to the Meiji Jingu Shrine, and then we went to, I forget what art museum we went to in Shibuya. I don't quite remember what it's called, but we went to a art museum that was really cool. It wasn't as big as you would think. It was actually only 2 stories, but. There's a lot of reading, and it's actually a lot of traditional Japanese print art, like the original copies and all that.
Oh, that's cool.
It was like from dating like to the 600s and shit. Like like it's old stuff. Like we don't get that stuff here. Like
no. We either get the copies or you get the. It's like, oh, this is some old Japanese from 1896.
Oh, so I messed up. So this is all Harajuku, by the way.
Okay.
I messed up. Everything I mentioned is Harajuku. I think maybe it's not.
Was the art museum in Harajuku or was it in Shibuya?
Hold on. No, the art museum was in Shibuya. No, it was in I think these are messed up because I think we were in Shinjuku and Harajuku one day and then Shibuya the next day.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I was not on this trip.
No, I always get these two mixed up, so that's why. So I don't know. It was either in Shinjuku or Harajuku because the next thing on our thing um, is we meet up at Shibuya. See, like this is where it gets.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Schedule technicalities
and also like this I like 14 like 12 days, so like I don't know which days are on what. So
yeah, I meant.
So we were in Harajuku and we went to the museum, and then after that Harajuku is like the place in Japan where a lot of the fashion comes from. So if you are anybody that really likes expensive fashion, Harajuku and Shibuya are the places to really go because that's actually where a lot of the high-end fashion is. Harajuku is known for its more like alternative cute fashion, and Shibuya is known more for its like high-end, like really nice fashion. Mm-hmm. So that's where I got this shirt, was in Harajuku. I went to We Go Tokyo, which is a popular chain, and you can't really read it, but it says USA World New Order 1776. There were other shirts there that I really liked. One said Untutorable Youth. My friend got one that said Downtown Cleveland in the store. There was one that said Never Change the Way You're, like YOU''RE, which is technically correct, but not the right usage.
Well, so it was like and it just ended with your.
Yeah, never change the way you are, but YOU''RE.
Oh, they were so. That's the one where that's definitely a situation where it's like you tried your best and you don't succeed.
Somebody would have bought it, but like it had like this white mesh around the shirt, and I was like, but just cut it off. But anyway.
But then what was the one you said it had like a milk carton on it?
So this was in a Harajuku, like it was like the street. It's something Dori. It was the Harajuku something. It's Harajuku something Dori. It's not Cat Street. It's another one. And we were at this. We only walked it like a little bit because we didn't have a lot of time. But we saw this one store that had like a lot of these weird shirts. My friend got a shirt that just had milk cartons on it, and then in Helvetica it said "damn." And it's like the best shirt.
And it's in Helvetica.
Ever. Yeah, so it was so great. I love that shirt. Like there's other shirts that we saw. There's one I won't say, but but there's another one that I saw that said I hate myself and I want to die.
That was on someone though.
Someone was wearing that too. So
I'm guessing it was a native Japanese person.
But I feel like at this point they're in on the joke, and I think it's a trend because like they're in on the joke.
I feel like that's the case too.
But it's still hilarious to me. So that was.
So I love damn
because it's like damn milk, right?
Damn. Especially because I just think of that like that low sequence, like the soft tone. The guy is just like, damn.
Right. So then at the end of that, we went to Shibuya, which is the famous Shibuya Scramble, which is the Shibuya station is known as one of the most busiest train stations in Japan. I don't know if that's the case, but the Shibuya Crossing, which is known as the Shibuya Scramble, is the busiest intersection in Japan.
Ooh.
That also has Hachiko, which is the dog statue. And the story behind Hachiko is that I believe it waited for its owner at the Shibuya station every day when it came home from work, and one day he didn't return, and Hachiko actually stayed at the station for like 3 days. And then he ended up dying because he wasn't eating. So they put up a statue of Hachiko there, and we got a picture with Hachiko. We did a couple other things in Shibuya, and that was it. And then we had dinner at the prison-themed restaurant, which is, if you've ever seen Solo Travel Vlog, it's the exact same one. I'm pretty sure it's called Locked Up. There's multiple locations in Japan. We went to the one in Shibuya. We also went to the Book Off in Shibuya as well.
You can keep going.
Okay, I wanted to make sure we weren't...
No, I'm closing Premiere.
Okay. So we went to the Book Off, which is like this half-price books kind of thing in Japan, and I got a CD there. I believe I got a CD at that one. Anyway, so I got a Nishino Kana CD, which is a famous J-pop artist, and that CD is lit. And I got it for $9, which is really cheap. But it was used, so all the CDs there are pretty much used, so you won't find any new stuff there. Tower Records is where you go for any new CDs, but those are really expensive.
Well, did you get the Fear and Loathing CD there?
No, CDs? I got that at Tower Records.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because you got their new one there, so I was like, well, there is at least one.
CDs were the main thing I wanted to buy there, so I spent the most money buying CDs. So,
Cool.
Locked Up is a prison-themed restaurant where you eat inside like a prison cell if you aren't in a giant group, but we were in a big party, so we were put in like this party room.
Oh, okay.
So but how it usually works is the lights go out and your cell door shuts, and these monsters come out and scare you, and like while you're eating, and they have chains that they take and they slam them on like the bar doors and stuff, like for like 20 straight minutes. Like it's intense, and like they're playing like metal music. They were playing like Bullet for My Valentine and stuff, and I thought it was great.
Was it actually Bullet for My Valentine?
Yeah,
Ever?
they were
Oh
playing
my God.
Bullet for My Valentine.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. Looking back at the time, I was terrified because yeah, it was fun like when we weren't getting scared, and then like because I was like we're like wow that's actually fun, but getting scared was like not because unlike the prison cell doors that usually close, I'm assuming they closed because they did in the solo travel blog video, didn't they?
I think so. I haven't seen it in such a long time.
That's what I was assuming. The things literally like the people dressed up literally came into our party room and was getting like this close to people.
Oh no!
Like, so it was pretty intense. That was fun. I was just nervous because I didn't want to choke on food when the lights go out because the lights go out at random times.
I feel like that's a valid concern.
But that was a lot of fun. So that was Shibuya and Harajuku, and then day 7 was our free day. We had about So what we did is we had about we had like till like 4 p.m. for like free time. So what I did is I went around Ikebukuro again. Today was the day I went to Tower Records and got those CDs. I also got my sister a K-pop CD. I got their 17.
Go to Japan to get a K-pop CD.
That's what she wanted. She wanted the K-pop CD. So
way to go.
So I got her that. I got 2 Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas CDs, which both of them together cost me about 50,000 yen, which is about $50+, depending on how the conversion rate is. So it was quite a bit of money. But and they're both their albums, the new one and their second newest one, were both 2,500.
Yeah,
no.
Phase 2 is.
Yeah, no, that's not Phase 2 is their second one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got For All That We Have Now.
Yeah, that one is their second album.
Oh, that's a good one, but and I couldn't find Phase 2 as like those two.
I think All That We Have Now is better than Phase 2, just because Phase 2 is like I guess a bit of a tangent.
Yeah, but whatever.
Phase 2 is really like all the singles, the ones that you see in the music videos those are like really good songs. Like those are great songs, but like it's not like. But like I would say the other ones aren't as good as the non-music video songs. Yeah. For All We Have Now. I do love their newest one. Like
their newest one's really good.
Feeling of Unity is to me like their best album.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I really liked it because I liked a lot of the songs that like my favorite was neither of the ones that they had done music videos for, even though technically they haven't technically released their third one, which you weren't a huge fan of. I thought it was hilarious.
Which one?
Party Boys.
Oh yeah.
I just like the song, not because I'm like, oh, the song's so deep. It's because it's a dumb party song, you know. But it's like the music video is funny to me because I'm like I like the song because I think it's just a silly song. Yeah. And so anyway.
So I went to Ikebukuro for a little bit. Pretty much what we did our whole time was that we went to the Evangelion store, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it was like this little store in a mall. It was kind of cool.
You can at least admire the significance that Evangelion has had.
I just don't understand anything of it, and I probably will watch it someday. But
maybe I will too.
But because actually our Japanese teacher Yoshiko, she's really huge into anime, and the show that her favorite show is Evangelion because she was 14 when it came out, and that's the age of Shinji. Oh. And it's kind of like this overall like theme of like getting through like growing up. That's what people are telling me. So I think
that's one of those things definitely where it's like you get attached to it because it's you kind of feel it at the same time. Yeah. I mean that's part of the reason I've always talked about Black Rock Shooter. Yeah. So yeah, there's always shows like that. So sometimes it just doesn't hit with some people, you know.
Yeah. So we went there. We went to Tower Records, and then we tried going to Akihabara, but we really didn't have enough time because we initially would have had an hour there, but McDonald's took like 20 minutes, and then we wanted to give ourselves some buffer time when we got back so that we could like put our stuff in our rooms, because when we say we leave by 4, we need to leave. We need to be ready to go at 4. So we wanted to get there at like 3:30, so we had half an hour to kind of like do anything we needed to do, and then be down at the main area by 4. So so that's what we did. We really didn't have much time in Akihabara, which is disappointing because I did want to go figure shopping a little bit more. Because there's like the biggest figure shop in Japan. It's like thousands of figures on one floor, and there's like 4 floors. So
amazing.
So
especially because I've become figure trash.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Two of them were gifts. So
isn't that 3 now?
Actually 3. 3 of them are gifts. I've only bought 2. Yeah. No, I bought 3. I forgot. I almost missed that one.
So after that, we did a Waidaiko experience, which are kind of like taikos, but it's a little different.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
So Waidaiko is pretty much like, yeah, the taiko drums where it's like the. So we did that for an hour. That was a lot of fun. Getting to learn how to do that, and then at the end we got to see our instructor like do it.
Oh.
And and he's really good. And the video that I like posted, the audio wasn't as good as it was in person.
I imagine not.
Like when he hits the sides of the drum, it doesn't sound that good in my video, but when you were there, it actually sounded like a really, really loud clap.
Yeah.
And it was really like sharp.
A lot of percussive things are very hard to get translated through recording.
It was really good though. He was really good. That was a lot of fun. And then we didn't have sushi in Shinjuku because there's people that don't like sushi. So
trying new things. Come on.
Yeah. Right?
You're there. It's not going to be like going to a sushi place. It's not like going to like a gas station sushi here.
But this was my favorite night for dinner. So we had shabu shabu.
I've heard of this.
And it's like, and we went to a buffet style shabu shabu. So you order any meat that you want off the menu. I think it's like an all you can eat, so you can order whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you get these thin pieces of meat, and you get boiling water, like not water, but you get like boiling, like it's not like, it's kind of broth, I guess you could say. Okay. And you take it and you kind of swish it through, and because the meat is so thinly cut, it cooks the meat.
Oh my god.
In like 2 seconds, and
I've heard of
the
this.
word shabu shabu is actually an onomatopoeia, and it translates to swish. so shabu is swish in Japanese. So you're swishing the meat, and then it's like a buffet. So you can get vegetables you can put in there. You can get noodles, dumplings, like all this stuff. Literally, strawberry tea they had was like the best tea of my life. Not sweet. It wasn't. It was not sweetened at all. Like I asked if it was sweetened tea, and they said no. That's just from the strawberries. I was like,
oh, pure. I was like, there's got to be like really pure strawberries in that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
That was my favorite meal. Because, like, damn.
Cause damn.
Like, gee, like, oh my god, like that was.
Get some milk and give that some damn.
like everything there was literally when I go back to Japan, I will be going back to that place because that place was really good. Like it was like $24 for all you can eat, and it's like a high class restaurant. It was like 2470 yen for all you can eat. Still pretty good, yeah. So that was really good. So we are now on day 8, and we are over an hour. So this video will probably be in 2 parts. Cool. So this is the end of the first part. If you want to check out the second part, click here. All right, so we're going to cut it here, and you can go to the next part because I don't want to upload a 2-hour video on YouTube because we're about halfway done with the... Actually, we're over halfway, but we're going to have like questions at the end and stuff. So it'll most likely be like a 2-hour thing, so bear with me.